Ian Hislop, what did he say about you? He said, no, you said, it's because of people like you that there are people like me. And I think you're right. But what do you mean by that?
So it was an interview he asked to do because he was doing something on, immigration or migrants or whatever. And of course, I get booked to be on the whatever they're trying to capture, to go and do a staged, it's not going to be live, which is never my thing, because they can manipulate it any which way they want. But obviously I'm being wheeled in to be the monster. Oh, let's get Katie on because she's the monster that hates all immigrants ever. So you arrive there and you know what's coming. They just want their soundbite of you being a monster. And you don't want to give them just that soundbite of you being a monster because that's not the truth of the thing. The truth of the thing is the story I've always been trying to tell, which is ordinary British people shouldn't be made to feel like second-class citizens in their own home. And just because we're importing millions of people doesn't make it the right thing to do. There's a sincerity to the fight that I've been fighting for a decade or more. So there's this real intellectual jousting going on because you've got him plus his crew plus his production plus the guy whispering in his ear, and then you've just got me who's been specifically put on the altar to be sacrificed as the monster. So you're going in and you've only got a bit of time. So that's why it was really important for me to lay those words out as I did. And it was relating to the words feral. And I had said, some individuals are feral human beings. And that's what he wanted to challenge me about. Are they really? Are people animals? Are they really? You're making them sound like they're filth. Well, no. I've lived in the migrant camp in Calais. I have slept amongst them. I have slept with the mother who dresses her daughter in the migrant camp as a boy, because if she dresses her as a girl, which she is, she fears that the men will take the child and the child will be lost into the camp and will never be seen again. I've spent time with feral humans. I'm specific about using that term because I've seen it firsthand. And so I wanted to be clear that I used that term in a certain way. And I also wanted to be clear with him that I know who I am, and I've never been a monster. But in order for the legacy media to isolate and alienate a truth teller, they make you a monster so that no one will listen, so that everyone will join in the public square when you're in the stocks, and they will all join and just throw stuff because everyone else is throwing stuff. And that's exactly what happened to me for 5 years in my country. And I wanted to say to him clearly, no, there are such things as feral humans. And, if I am a monster, it's you that made me the monster. And that was a really important moment for me because it was a way of, even though I was hated by nearly everybody in the country, obviously not, maybe not my own children, but I was hated almost universally. I still knew I had to stay true to knowing that I wasn't what they were saying I was. I just want what's best for ordinary people like I am. And so that was a real moment. And now it's a funny thing because that was 8 years ago, something. And there's a different me sat there. I have this short lesbian hair going on. I'd had surgery, whatever. Bright white hair. And I look different. And my life is so different now to then. Then I was still in my power mode. But that woman is the same woman now. And now I just get to be, cuddled at the Premier Inn this morning where I woke up, cuddled by the receptionist, asked to come and shake hands with the boys who were off to see Norwich today, stopped in the car park for a picky. I am so lucky to have walked through that fire and made it, and that now I get to be just who I am. It's really, really lovely.
It doesn't paint a full portrait because there are people who still maybe dislike you, as there are many who dislike me as well.
Oh my gosh, there'll be people that hate me.
Yeah.
People that watch this that all say, I cannot stand her.
Well, we had Julia Hartley-Brewer on yesterday, and she said something to that effect about you.
Oh, bless her.
And she's already somebody who's controversial in her own right. And so I guess that gives the impression that you're so extreme because she's already considered quite extreme herself.
I don't know. I think it's, I think, again, it's one of the unfortunate things that podcasters do, which is to ask individuals about someone else because it gives a soundbite. Julia Hartley-Brewer says she can't stand Katie Hopkins. I get asked about Tommy or Andrew or the boys all the time, and I refrain from comment other than I support everyone who's trying to get an opinion out there and will stand their ground. I see what happens with people who are a little bit known, maybe like Julia or others, and there's a peculiar sense of fiefdom. They have this sort of fiefdom idea of needing to protect their space on the battlefield, if you will. And it's a sort of a circular thing, I imagine, in my world of pictures in my head. And in order to protect their bit of clicks and views and space and bookings, they have to make sure not only do they say enough things that are sufficiently quite strong, but they mustn't be too strong, and they certainly don't want to pick up any of the angst that might go along with Katie or Tommy or any of the... So there's this very clever playing of an Overton window that they're in, and they're also trying to look after their clicks and views. And so that's why they feel the need to criticise.